Hello, so we are on video number 2 of lesson 9 of the 2015 Adobe Illustrator CC Classroom in a Book. We're doing duplicating layer content, page 261. So I'm going to click on the disclosure triangle on the left of shirt front, which really shirt layer should be named shirt front. So we're going to toggle this open, and we're going to press the Option, Mac, or Alt key to select the front sleeves sublayer to select the content on the artboard. You may need to scroll down to find it. Here we go, front sleeves. And we're going to go, when we hold down Alt, we kind of select everything there. And while pressing the Alt or Option key, we're going to drag the front sleeves up to shirt back. So what it's doing is, remember the Alt and Option key duplicates, and it shifts from a red color, so it's there and there. So the copies of the front sleeves is just on the same spot with a different layer. So dragging with the modifier key copies it, just like we do instead of doing an edit copy and paste in place. So click the disclosure triangle on the left of the sublayer to find it. And with the yellow-green sleeves artwork still selected, we're going to shift-click the white shirt shape on the right side of the artboard. Under Back to select both objects. Release the Shift key, check again on this object. So we're going to shift-click so it selects both. We're going to pull up our alignment, align to selection, and we're going to horizontal align center, which kind of moves them both on top of each other, but it lines them together. And since it shifted it both, I'm just going kind of shifting it over, object, arrange, send to back. So and I'm just gonna, because this object here is above, and I want it to be aligned to each other. And I'm just going to say it's fine for now, and I'll play with it in a little bit because I don't believe it's completely aligned, and I'll work on that later. So we're on page 262, merging layers. To streamline your artwork, you can merge layers, sublayers, contents, groups, etc. to combine them into one layer or sublayer. However, I'm not a big fan of merging the layers. I like everything separate personally. Yes, it kind of keeps things organized, but I never know when I need to find something separate. So, in the contents for the shirt back layer, sublayer, click the top path object and highlight it and shift click the bottom path object to select 4 path objects. So we have here, hold down shift and it selects everything. And then we're going to click on the layers panel menu right here. And we're going to choose collect in a new layer to create a new sub layer in this case and put path objects onto it. So it puts it all in one sublayer together, which is going to be 7. And we're going to rename this to shirt back stitching. And if you double click it, we're going to change this to red. We only got light red as an option. And we're going to change the layer color to match the main layer color isn't necessary. The layer options box has a lot of options we've already worked with, including naming layers, preview, outline, locking layers, etc. So next we're going to do the same on the stitching on the artwork in the shirt front. So hide shirt back. So we want these 2 paths. Now I kind of held all of them down, which is not what I want to do. So this is where you do Command and Control. And select all of them. Select a new layer and shirt front stitching. Drag the shirt front layer, rename the path object to the group object below it. And this is going to kind of add it together. Actually, in the shirt front layer, drag the remaining path object up into the group object above it. So we're going to drag it above it so path is on top of group. But it looks like the path object is now part of the group layer, but it appears on top of the objects in the group. So I'm just going to drag it in, and it should be a part of it. Look at the collar under the shirt and find the word front on the artboard after completing. Look at the collar on the shirt and find the word front. So now I feel like we've lost something, because our layers are looking a bit confusing in comparison with the layers here. And really it just wants us to get used to pulling things in and out. So we're on shirt front. I think it's not that. believe we were supposed to rename something to front collar. I believe front collar is probably in a different layer. It somehow got put onto pattern front. And we're just going to drag it to shirt front. That was page on 256 when we did that. And we're going to drag. Now look at the collar under the shirt. Under the word front after completing the step. Look again. So I think they want this. Which is this group here. And click the disclosure triangle to the left of the group object to show the contents, and drag the top path object to the top. And I think that path object got shifted around somewhere else. It looks like I'm trying to match these images. So we want this top path object to be underneath. And when the line appears, release the mouse button, which we just did. This changes the arranging, the stacking order of the artwork, and is the same as choosing object arrange send to back. Click the disclosure triangle to hide this contents, which was very confusing. Click the top group object on the front layer. So technically this is the top grouped object. And we're on step 11, page 264. We're going to select this one on the shirt front layer. Command click or control click the other group, which is the little tag. So we want both of the grouped there, and they're kind of highlighted in that blue. And I'm going to drag the selected group objects move onto the front collar to move them. So we're moving them on top to front collar. So now they're nested here. And to hide the contents. That was tough. You may need to stop the video and redo it several times to get it through, because the book just isn't well written. So next we're going to do is pasting layers on the bottom of page 264. So we want to reset essentials in the middle of what we're doing. And we're going to go to File, Open, and we're looking for pattern.ai. Here it is, and I'm going to click Open. It's going to open this brand new document. And with the Layers panel, we're going to pull it up because we have this here. We're going to see how these objects are organized. They're in groups and these different shapes. So if you click one, you can see where they're highlighted. There's two. So they have some different depth and where they work on top of each other. So we're going to select all, So everything is selected, all these dots are activated, and we're going to do an edit copy to copy this contents, or Command C. We're going to choose File to close this pattern, and we're not going to save it because we've made a copy. And we don't need to save any changes we may or may not have made. In the shirts.ai file, choose Paste Remember Layers in the Layers panel menu. So we're just going Paste Remember Layers. Make sure that is checked. And when it's selected, the artwork that's pasted onto the layers from when it's copied. And we're going to do Edit Paste. And it remembers them all in different layers right here. The Paste Remembers Layers option causes the layer from Pattern AI to be pasted into there. And we're going to move the new pasted layers from the front and change the normal, or the order of the layers. So we're going to drag the print 1, print 2, print 3 layers down to pattern front. And I didn't do all of them, so I'm going to undo, shift click all of them. Now they're on that layer and those colors are matching. And the 3 pasted layers become sub-layers of pattern 1. So I'm going to do a File S, and that's the end of video number 2. And in the next video, we're doing page 266.